The usage of control by deprivation refers to a systemic and intentional strategy employed to maintain power, domination, and oppression. This strategy involves deliberately denying or limiting a person or group access to resources, opportunities, and privileges that are available to others, mainly centered around their needs, wants, and desires. By depriving individuals or groups of their wants, needs, and desires, those in positions of power aim to maintain control and reinforce existing social norms and hierarchies, hence the status quo. Control by deprivation can take various forms, including economic, educational, social, and political deprivation. It is insidious as a mechanism that seeks to perpetuate disenfranchisement and marginalization by denying individuals and groups access to resources such as fair employment, quality education, affordable housing, or equal representation. Control by deprivation suppresses their ability to fully participate in society and attain the opportunities they need to thrive. This form of control is rooted in hatred, enmity, and delusions of supremacy, grandeur, hidden in laws, codes, institutions, systems, organizations, and discriminatory policies. It's essentially a form of isolation by way of exclusion. It reinforces power imbalances and sustains the social, economic, and political disadvantages faced by those rejected and denied. The use of control by deprivation of tyrannical governments and its comparison to the historical treatment of Black people in the United States of America will shed light on different contexts and motivations, but both involve the intentional denial of rights and resources to maintain power and oppress, repress, and constrict us. Tyrannical governments utilize control by deprivation as a means of cementing their authority and suppressing dissent. By limiting access to resources such as food, water, healthcare, education, or freedom of expression, tyrannical regimes exert control over their citizens, ensuring their compliance and stifling any potential opposition. This approach aims to quell resistance, maintain a stranglehold on power, and undermine the agency and autonomy of certain individuals and groups within a society. The usage of control by deprivation against us as Black people in the United States of America has made us question whether our stated legal freedoms will ever match our experiences with freedom. Plenty of examples come to my mind, and we don't have to look far to find invidious discrimination and systemic racism. But who said we were seeking these anyway? We also don't have to look too far to find the distinct racialized nature of things, often restated as "we live in two Americas." Particularly nefarious and rooted in an oppressive system of white supremacy, this evil of control by deprivation was employed as a means of maintaining racial hierarchies and preserving economic, social, and political advantages for white individuals. The deliberate denial of rights and access to resources based solely on melanin has always aimed to perpetuate the position of power held by the so-called dominant white population, and its practice continues to undergird their status quo society, offering temporary catharsis for those who are willing to go along just to get along. While both tyrannical governments and the system of white supremacy involve the intentional denial of benefits and resources, it is important to acknowledge that the motivations and manifestations of control by deprivation have sometimes differed in their approaches and the maintenance of their structures. Tyrannical governments employ it to suppress the general population and maintain political dominance, while the historical usage against Black people in the United States of America was specifically crafted and designed to target an entire racial group to preserve white power dynamics. However, the impacts of control by deprivation in both cases are significant and have lasting consequences on the lives and a devastating impact on the well-being of the harmed and injured populations. The U.S., unlike despot regimes, deceptively hides its wickedness in their touts and praises of its constitutional republic system of democracy. It likes to declare itself as the all-powerful guarantors of individual and fundamental rights, economic opportunities for growth, and self-determination. But just like Rome, never considered how internal and external conflicts would cause its ultimate demise, America's Trojan horse has already entered, and she too is on her downfall. While control by deprivation is a powerful form of oppression, it has also been historically and premeditatedly imposed on Black people, resulting in the denial of our wants, needs, and desires. This systemic mistreatment has had a profound impact on our community, fostering socioeconomic disparities, limiting opportunities, and creating a sense of hopelessness and powerlessness. All by design, in the hopes that we would succumb to the place of permanent losers, ergo the term race. But we're not chattel village horses, nor are we entertaining at the Kentucky Derby. Throughout history, we have faced unequal and inequitable access to resources, education, employment, housing, and other fundamental aspects of life. And seeing how you try to escape reality, I'll remind you, America, that from the time of slavery that you created and established, where we were seen as property rather than human beings, we have been denied the basic rights and freedoms that other racial groups enjoy. Your heuristic common sense is lacking, seen in the way you get easily lost, fumbling around in the dark, luminal spaces. And even when we pass you a moral compass, you still can't seem to go in the right direction. So this time we'll be more than obliged to let you stagger in your values deficiencies. The Trojan horse has already entered, but you were too busy watching us when you should have been checking on yourself.